Unscripted, Burning Down the Master's House. Back again with another video. And so I wanted to come on and share this particular document that I had come across titled Racial Etiquette, the racial customs and rules of racial behavior in Jim Crow America. I came across this document some time ago. I had always wanted to do a video on it, and I came across it again looking for something else. So I figured I'd come on and, present this video. But what kind of brought this on was, like they call Shannon Sharp Uncle Shay Shay or Unc, and, just the terminologies that so-called Negroes use today. But a lot of these terminologies are, perpetuations of Jim Crow behavior. So we're going to go through the document. Excuse me. So we're going to go through the document, and we're just going to touch on a few points. This isn't going to be a long video, but let's go ahead and get into it. Also be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and donate if you like the video. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload future content. All right, let's get into it. So, according to this, Ronald L.F. Davis, historian, California State University at Northridge. Most Southern white Americans grew up prior to 1954 expecting Black Americans to conduct themselves according to well-understood rituals of behavior. The racial etiquette governed the actions, manners, attitudes, and words of all Black people when in the presence of whites. To violate this racial etiquette placed one's very life and the lives of your family at risk. It was just that serious in the Jim Crow South. So just to touch on, and I want to skip past this because, like I said, I don't really want this to be a long video, but Blacks were expected to refer to white males in position of authority as boss or captain, a title of respect that replaced either master or marster, interesting, used in slave times. Sometimes the white children of one's white employer or prominent white person might be called massa to show special respect if a white person was well known. A Black servant or hired hand or tenant might speak in somewhat intimate terms addressing the white person as Mr. John or Miss Mary. Hey, Miss Mary, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Boss is something that people still use right now. Hey, what's going on, boss? You know what I'm saying? And Black men refer to each other as that now. What's happening, Captain? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are terminologies definitely still used here in the South. I hear them still right now here today. All Black men, on the other hand, were called by their first names or were referred to as boy, uncle, or old man. So, we know people call, oh, that's my old man. Men call their women, oh, that's my old lady. This whole uncle thing, which is really taking UNK, but it's just a derivative of the word unk. So you say, what's up, unk? What's up, unk? What's up, unk? These that once perpetuating slave language. Perpetuating Jim Crow language that was actually used against us. So if a white person did not personally know a Black person, the term N-word or N-word fellow might be used. In legal cases and the press, Blacks were often referred to by the word Negro with the first name attached, such as Negro Sam. At other times, the term Jack, hey, what's going on, Jack, was a common name, was universally used in addressing Black men not known to the white speaker. Hey, Jack. What's up, Jack? Where you hear that terminology from? That was kind of like upper East Coast. I really just, I guess if you want to say hood language, but like New Jack City. You see what I'm saying? Jack. So another perpetuation of Jim Crow language being used right now here today. Let's skip on down. Whites much prefer to give blacks honorary titles such as doctor or professor or reverend, which we know a great deal, to avoid calling them Mr. While the term N-word was universally used, some whites were uncomfortable with it because they knew it was offensive to most blacks. As a substitute, the word negro often appeared in polite society. It's the same thing, negro. This is funny. So black women were addressed as auntie or girl. Now, when they say this auntie thing, it makes me think of the actress chick, Jennifer Lewis. You know, they call her like auntie, Auntie Jennifer and all this. But once again, it's still just perpetuating Jim Crow language from that time and era. So, you know, when they say that a lot of so-called black people here in America, or blacks period, have never really came off the plantation, this is also in the psychology and the pathology of language. It's the same thing, and the same thing is going on right now here today. A holdover from slavery. Slavery days was the term wench, as a bed wench. But it's so funny, I think wench also applies to what women have been calling each other today was ratchet. So a wench and a ratchet, there you have it. This was another interesting point of this particular document. In general, blacks and whites could meet and talk on the street. Almost always, however, the rules of racial etiquette required blacks to be agreeable and non-challenging, even when the white person was mistaken about something. Now, you see this particular behavior with a lot of black people today, that you could be, that I guess if you want to call it humbling yourself, that you need to be agreeable and non-challenging even when somebody is wrong. You see a great deal of this behavior in the church community, Southern Baptist, non-denominational, charismatic, whatever call you. This behavior still goes on right now here today. So, just to know this, to me, I look to, personally, whenever I learn a lot, what I learn, I apply. So when I see these things and I see these behaviors, or when I saw those behaviors in me, I break that. You have to, and I don't think enough of us go through the necessary, do the necessary work to break these spells, and they need to be broken, period. These spells need to be broken. And a lot of us aren't willing to break these spells and do what we have to do mentally, psychologically, to break these spells. So let's move forward. Blacks and whites were not expected to eat together in public. It was okay for blacks to enter a restaurant to buy food or take out, or to stand at the end of a lunch counter until their order was taken. Usually, they would leave and wait outside for their food to be brought to them. Some places allow blacks to eat in the kitchen. Nor were black customers always allowed to use store implements such as plates or dishes or even boxes. Black customers commonly brought their own tin pails and buckets to be filled. Jim Crow was, I wouldn't have been able, I wouldn't have been able to live in Jim Crow. I'm sorry. So white owners of clothing stores did not allow blacks to try on clothing as a general rule, fearing that white customers would not buy clothes worn by African Americans. Some stores did not allow blacks to put on clothing. Some stores did allow blacks to put on clothing over their own clothes, or to try on hats over a cloth scarf on their heads. Shoes were never tried on as a general rule, but most white clerks did allow exact measurements to be made in most towns. Black customers knew which stores could be expected to treat them with respect while not breaking the rules of racial etiquette. Like a lot of this is very heartbreaking stuff to even read, but I mean, I think I would this document is easy to find. That's just Google Jim Crow etiquette PDF. Ronald L.F. Davis. I just wanted to touch on a few points because some of these things still happen today, especially in terms of language. But if you're really paying attention, racism never left. A lot of black people became trustees and assimilated into positions that whites already had, and they expected the same treatment. So, you know, still on some old house Negro, field Negro type of shit. This has been another episode of Elmean Unscripted. I'm out. Peace.